Adrien has problems. Broner goes to 32-2 with the victory over Ashley Theophane with now 8 blemishes on his record, 13 years into his career, 35 years old, and outweighed probably by about 15, 20 pounds on the night of the fight. And it took Broner 8 rounds to dispatch of him, and he gave up some rounds as well. And Broner was allowed to walk into the ring looking like Tom Hanks from Castaway with that beard. And that's what happens, man, when you're dealing with Heyman and he's representing both fighters. And I'm sure Theophane was like, "Hey, what's this guy with the beard? What's he doing? Anybody gonna tell him to shave?" And and they're like, "No, we represent him too, so he's gonna walk in the ring with that beard. He's the bigger fighter." At least Theophane had some facial hair as well, but not nearly. I mean, dude looked like Kimbo Slice in there with the beard, and they allowed him to. I mean, whatever. We all know this was a setup from the beginning. Dude came in point 0.4 pounds over to the weigh-in, had 2 hours to lose it, and was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna lose. I'm not gonna lose it. Whatever. Just give him some money. I'm not gonna lose it." And from what I hear, he weighed 171 on the unofficial scale on the night of the fight. That's hard to believe that he gained over 30 pounds overnight, but a lot of things in boxing happen that are hard to believe. He was at least in the mid 160s, though. I mean, you could see it. There was a huge difference in weight there, and like I said, it still took him 8 rounds to do what he did. The odds for this fight were 30-1 in Broner's favor. And to see once again the narrative change after the fight. Oh, Broner, what a knockout. And, he calls out Mayweather. Oh, my God, he called out Mayweather. Like, why would anybody take that seriously? Well, I mean, why are we even... This whole thing stunk to high heaven, man. Like it was just a setup. It had WWE written all over it. I mean, how do people not see that? But let's get back to the fight. Like, inside the ring, nothing changed with Broner. There was nothing that changed. He's still flat-footed. He still gets hit a ton. I mean, the fact that, dude, is so embarrassing. This was probably the most embarrassing narrative in the past 5 years in boxing, that people had this guy top 5, as high as top 5 pound for pound on their list. And the fact that they were crowning this guy the next king of boxing, and look at him now. I mean, it was all there. The red flags were there as early as the Eloy Perez fight, when the guy was like 3 or 4 pounds over at the weigh-in and refused to lose the weight. Like, yeah, he's lazy. He's lazy. He doesn't have the work ethic, and he gets hit he was getting hit in that fight. He was getting hit in DeMarco, the Gavin Reese fights, as early as that. And then Malignaggi was the first one to where, okay, everybody sees it like, something's not adding up here. Something's not computing. And nothing has changed. There was nothing he did in the Theophane fight that was different. He was just fighting a guy. Once again, he was bullying a guy much smaller than him, like he was doing in the olden days when he was down at 130, 135, 126. But the Mayweather comparisons are embarrassing. He's more Chavez Jr. That's the only way Chavez Jr. can win fights, is if he vastly outweighs a guy. And Broner is the same thing. He's all fluff, man. He's a Miley Cyrus. He's all fluff. There's no substance there. Gets hit a lot. Not a good defensive fighter. Fights in lulls. I mean, he's a Arthur Abraham type fighter. He just fights in lulls. He puts his hands up. Can't counterpunch. Flat-footed. Wide-footed. I mean, he's not a great combination puncher. It's never been there. And it's not going to be there. However, it's not all bad. Like, You can still salvage things. It's the same thing when they were trying to build up Andre Berto, and I said just repackage him. They were trying to build him up as this elite fighter and hype him up, and he lost. And I'm saying, and people start seeing this, and I'm just saying, repackage him as a fun fighter. You can do that with Broner. He's a fun fighter to watch if matched correctly. You can match him up with a Brandon Rios or a Victor Ortiz, guys like that. But anytime you try to build him up as this elite fighter and you put him in there with a Maidana or a Sean Porter, he's going to lose. He's going to get exposed. But if you match him correctly and you repackage him as this fun fighter, he's a fun fighter. He can be a fun fighter to watch when matched correctly against inferior opposition, or I wouldn't even say inferior opposition because it's not like he's great. But when you match him with superior opposition, he's not going to be there. He's not going to be the same fighter. But if you match him up with average opposition, he's going to make them look better than they are because he fights in lulls and he gets hit a lot. And fighters who get hit a lot, let's be honest, they're fun to watch. And he's still explosive. He can be explosive in the ring as well, in spurts. So if you repackage him, it's fine. But if the people who still want to build this guy up as some sort of superior elite fighter, it's not there. It's just not there. And plus the stuff going on out of the ring. This has train wreck written all over. I think he just had like his 7th kid. He just got arrested again. Dude, the red flags are everywhere. Everywhere. So all I'm saying is the people around him have to try to rein him in a little bit. They have to repackage him and everything can be fine. But if they keep going with this narrative it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But I don't know. I didn't see anything different. Theophane actually won 2 or 3 rounds on my card. And Broner didn't impress to me. And that's what I got from it.